Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Little Nightmares free Platinum Trophy walkthrough. And this is level 2 called the Candy Factory. And after having spent time in the City of the Dead, the first level, Necropolis, a candy factory sounds like a great place to be in. Well, wrong. This is a mix in between Willy Wonka and pure nightmare fuel. This place. I think any type of Oompa Loompa you would find inside this place would probably eat you instead of candy. Just so we're aware of that. But never fear, we will get through this level together. And this level also has a bunch of level specific trophies. You will have interactions with a character, which I think is the superintendent of this place or something. Good thing is there is no trophy related to getting through all her interactions without getting caught. So you don't have to worry about that, even though they're not very hard in, for example, the first level. It's quite easy. If you know what you're supposed to do, it's easy to stay away from the baby, but you can get unlucky and clip on your AI controlled partner, or if you and a friend have decided to play through the entire game together, that can cause you problems, because getting stuck on each other can get you killed. In this level you don't have to care about that, so that is a nice thing. And when we get into the next room, the first thing you want to do is crouch down over here behind this desk or on the side of this desk, and we're gonna wait here for a little while. That is, I call her the superintendent. I don't know the official name for her, but she will stand over there by her desk and raffle around with the papers for a little while, and then she will move over to the right. And that is our cue to move further up. So we can go into the background of this room and hide beneath the desk. And we're gonna play the waiting game once again. Then she goes over to the left. She messes about there for a little bit, and then she will continue on her merry continue on her way into the next room, which will signal that the coast is clear and that we can move on. If you at any moment when you're in those hiding sequences, if you're a bit unsure if the coast is clear or not, look at your AI controlled companion. Like if you're playing as low, look at alone. Because if you see her starting to move out, that means the coast is clear. She will not move until the enemy has moved away from the area and you're safe. And when you get into this room, make sure to bring out your bow and shoot that button, because there is an active electric cable lying down in the water. And if you have played the second game, Little Nightmares 2, you know exactly how bad an electric cable in water can be for your health. Because that is something you use to take out an enemy during the last level of the game called... No, the second to last level. Excuse me, the Pale City. In this room, just wait next to the first box until she goes over on the right side, so we can move down in here. And when she goes over to the left, we continue onwards to the right. Very simple. Alone will hide down there for some reason, but there's no need to wait any longer. Just start climbing this. It's not a bookcase, but whatever type of case it is. And we are now up on the beams over the superintendent. Before we leave this room, make sure to go over here to the left and pick up a teddy bear, like so. And then we can go over to the right and continue out from this room. And a big improvement in the second and third game from the first game is that when you're running on narrow planks and beams and stuff like that, in the first game it was very easy to fall off. By the way, here is a chase sequence. All you want to do here is run over to this door, push through, and you're safe. Go into a little cutscene where you fall down. But what I was saying, when you're running on those narrow planks where you see your character is balancing, so to speak, there is no risk to fall off the side of it. That is a big improvement in the second and third game from the first one. And when you're down here, before we go through that hole in the right wall, you want to pick up three pieces of candy and throw them through this hole in the wall. We will use them to unlock a trophy. Hopefully your aim is better than mine, because I fucking suck at that. Doesn't matter which pieces of candy you pick up. I go for a candy cane, a lollipop, and was it like a candy apple. You can pick up pie, doesn't matter, as long as it's 3 pieces of candy. And when you go into this room, pick them up once again and throw them into this mass of beetles in the dark. So do not take out the fuse just yet. That was the grip detection not cooperating. But instead we pick up this candy apple, we throw it into the bugs like so, and lastly the lollipop. And as I said, doesn't matter whichever pieces of candy you pick up, as long as it's 3 of them. Throw them into this mass of bugs and you will get a trophy called Unsavory Delicacies. Now that you have done that, make sure to take out the fuse, because the light from the fuse will make the bugs move away from you. I recommend walking normally through here, because alone needs to stay close to you, and sometimes the AI can be a bit slow on the uptake. Her tracking of you is most of the time good, sometimes it isn't, so just take it slowly when you're in one of those situations where you have to move together. Because if either one of you ends up outside the aura of light, the bugs will feast on your bones. Just so you're aware of that. But dying, as I said, in this level there are no drawbacks of it, so to speak. There is no trophy related to beating this level without dying. And just like in the two previous installments, all the checkpoints in these games are very closely spaced together. So if you get unlucky and get clocked, you will not lose much progress, which I think is a great thing. It really adds to the enjoyment, especially since sometimes, especially on your first playthrough, my first playthrough of this game, I had a few cheap diffs. In the first level with the baby interactions, or the giant doll baby, I think I died almost once at every interaction with the baby. Because some of the interactions, if you don't know what to do, the first time you are gonna get sniped. Because the one where I hid behind a box in the alleyway where the baby shows up in the background, by the way, taking that view. But when the baby shows up in the background, I had no idea I was supposed to hide behind the box. It was fairly obvious when I stopped and fought for a second. Or like when I got back there after I'd respawned at the checkpoint. But it's one of those, it's easy to suffer a cheap death if you are the least bit unaware or a bit over enthusiastic, you might call it. But either way, when we get into this room, just climb up on this grating or whatever it is in the background and go around these bugs. Alone will wait on the other side for you to fix this, and all we need to do here on the right side is go over here and pull this lever, which will turn on the light and make the bugs move away from this hatch in the floor. And here we just need to jump somewhat synchronized with Alone on it for 3 times. I would recommend, for getting the rhythm down for the jumping, jump once and Alone will jump just after you. And when you land, wait for like a second and jump again, and then you will time your jump together with her quite well, I think. Most of the time. And you have to hit the hatch sort of synchronized to make it fall down. By the way, this sausage I picked up, you don't need to do that unless if you're playing this as Alone, because then you can use that sausage and throw it at that button to open the door. I got a bit mixed up because there is a puzzle, or there's a trophy you can unlock in level 3 related to a sausage. But I'm not gonna get ahead of myself and spoil anything. Instead, we will do that when we get there. Up on this level, we need to get 2 fuses, and you can do this in whichever order you wish. Doesn't matter which order you do this. But if you go in, or when you go into this freeze room, first go into this back right corner and pick up the teddy bear on the ground. And that should be, what is teddy bear, like 2 or 3? Then go over here and pull this lever and let go of it. That will trigger Alone to realize that you want her to pull the lever so you can ride one of these meat hooks. A bit like we did in Little Nightmares 1 in the kitchen level. Just make sure that a meat hook without meat hanging on it comes, and jump and grab. Getting a hold of those meat hooks can be, I think, a little bit finicky. Because once again, the perspective can throw you off. But when we get into this room, just grab the fuse from the wall. That will stop this fan, so we can head back with it once again, as soon as we manage to get a hold of it. So now we're done in this room, and I think it's quite fun when you leave alone. When you leave alone in a room, to see, like, whenever you get back, sometimes she's standing and leaning against the wall, sometimes she's inspecting something. And I think that's kind of cute. It keeps the characters feel alive, that they're not just standing statically around waiting for you to return. And in here, we are gonna go and grab the second fuse. And when we're heading back, there is a ball in the room that we just left, and we're gonna get pick that up and grab that with us as well. And when we get over here, just climb up here and go into this room on the right. Here we have the second fuse. So we're gonna employ the help of Alone to get up on those boxes. So just wait for her a second, like so. And when we pull out the fuse, the door opens so we can start heading back. And the funny thing is, by pulling out the fuse, apparently you powered down the harness conveyors. So congratulations, we just killed a candy factory worker. And when we are going back here, this is a prime example. Make sure to move slowly here. Because it has happened to me sometimes alone, especially going beneath this shelf. Take it very slow and steady, because for some reason she is very slow on the uptake there. So she can get left behind and then the bugs will eat her. But throw the fuse through and make sure to grab this ball and bring it with you as well. We're gonna use that ball to unlock another trophy. So when we have the ball, make sure to pop in the fuse, grab the ball, and we're gonna head up one floor. And make sure to bring the ball with you in the elevator. So we put it down right there. And we go up. And as always, I have trimmed out the elevator ride. When we reach our destination, make sure to pick up the ball again and throw it into the hoop over here on the left. Like so. And you will get the trophy, another one in the bag. So, and that is the only instance throughout this game where you can unlock that trophy, so make sure to do that. And if you miss it, don't worry, you will be going through this game again. If, as I said, if you're going for the platinum and this is your first playthrough, you will have to play through it once again as the other protagonist. And here is yet another teddy bear, so make sure to grab that. And then we can continue onwards. And here we find Alone just chilling against the wall in Willy Wonka's Nightmare Factory. And I think I mentioned that before. This game is not developed by Tarsier that did the first two games in the series. They let go of the IP and Supermassive took over. And Tarsier went on to create Reanimal, which is quite similar. I actually bought it and I've started playing it. I really enjoy it, and probably a game I will cover on my channel. I'm thinking about it, not gonna promise anything. But even though this is developed by a new developer, as I said, Supermassive Games did this, there are a lot of similarities to the two previous installments in the series. The aesthetics are there. And this game, I think, is a little bit of like greatest hits track in a way, because there are a lot of references back to the two previous games in the series. And you can say what you wish about that. Some people might think it's cheap and some people might find it fun. I am one of those that finds it kind of fun, actually. But where was I? Not really sure. Lost my train of thought. Never mind. What we have done now is power down all the security cameras. Because security cameras, when they see you, they will close doors in front of you so you cannot progress. So that was why we had to power them down. This will not please the superintendent, because this is the control room. And she will come in here spitting hellfire. Because she knows something is up. And here, much like the previous interactions we've had with her throughout this level, we're gonna just sit pretty on this beam, let her have her little temper tantrum down there, and when she goes out the door, it is safe to progress. Make sure you jump down on this side, the closest to the screen, because I think if you jump from the beam straight down to the floor, that will kill you. And in here, in this room, there is yet another teddy bear. And there we get the trophy called Candy Shop. Or I get trophy called Candy Shop. I can't really remember. I don't think that is the last teddy bear in this level. So as I said in my video for the first one, that trophy will not pop for you in the same instance as it did for me, I don't think. And here we will see... I usually trim out all the cutscenes, but I decided to keep this one in because it does show a transformation of the superintendent. She has been cruising around on an office chair, but now she is broken free of it. So it turns out she is some type of spider monster lady, which is quite a scary thing, because now that she has abandoned her chair, she is a lot more mobile than she was before. But don't fear, we will take care of her before we leave this place, and she will not stand a shadow of a chance. I have no idea if that was a correct sentence or not. But she will not catch us. She will try her very best, and she will fail miserably. But either way, going into this room, I once again start calling alone, try to make her catch up faster. Want to see if any of these were breakable. I talked about that in the video for the first level, that you have to break 50 objects throughout the game to unlock a trophy that I still can't remember the fucking name of. But whenever you get a chance, when you see like vases and stuff like that, bottles perhaps, bring out your bow, or if you're playing as alone, bring out your wrench and smash them, because it will all count towards that trophy. And don't worry, in level 3 there will be a lot of things you can break as well. And now it's time for a big chase with the superintendent. You will see her starting to come out of that pipe, and as soon as you pull this lever, she will move through. So here we want to be quick. Jump over the first pipe, slide on the second ones. Big jump over here, slide once again, and jump through this hole in the door and into this elevator. And once again, I have trimmed out the elevator ride. As soon as you reach your destination, just head over to the left in beneath the bookshelf and wait. Alone will follow you. The superintendent will be hot on your heels. And as long as you stay under the shelf, you are completely safe. She will run around here like something out of Alien Isolation. She will rattle the shelves, being quite frustrated because 2 little children are outsmarting her. And as soon as she follows that rat, you see the little saving icon down on the right, and you are now safe to continue. And we are very soon through the candy factory. Just a few things left to do, and this puzzle right here, I think, is a little homage to one of the DLCs. Can't remember what it was called. I think it was the second one, or the DLCs for the first game we played as the kid. Because there was an instance where you had to move these little mine carts back and forth. And the first thing I did was move the rails. And then when you have gotten the minecart to the end of the rails, you want to move the switch back so we can move the cart into the next room. Because we need to get up to the handle on the left, over the hatch. But to be able to reach it, we have to fill this up with candy so we have a platform to stand on. So we just move the cart over to the end of the rails, and this pipe will fill it up with delicious rotten candy apples. I'm not a fan of candy apples at the best of circumstances. I've had one in my life, and to me it just tasted like burnt toffee with apple. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy toffee, but not burnt. Maybe I got a bad apple, so to speak, but I remember I tried to like peel off the toffee bit and just eat the apple. But either way, when you jump over to that handle, alone will follow suit, and we can fall down into the next room. Here we'll go into another little cutscene, which I have also decided to leave in, just because the boss is, or yeah, you could call her a boss, but there's nothing you can do right now. You don't have any control of the characters. You just have to sit pretty in that box until she goes away, and they will pop out like 2 little mushrooms. And now it is almost time for the last chase. As soon as I can get a grip of this grate, because that sound will trigger her and she will be hot on our tail once again. So go in here, go in behind this hatch, scare her off. And this room is a little reference to, was it like the second game? There's a room that looks basically exactly the same. And when we get in here, just hide inside this box. Don't worry, she will not enter the room until Alone has joined you in the box. And she will go in, move out to the left. As soon as you see Alone starting to go for the exit, follow her. And now it's the final chase. We just run, slide, jump, and we jump again, and again. And this is quite tense, especially the first time you're playing it. Because the margins when you are being chased, just like in the previous games, the margins are quite slim. You cannot dilly-dally, because then you will get caught. But as soon as you're through that hydraulic press and pull the lever, you can go Terminator on her ass. In compliments of Kyle Reese. And that is the end of the superintendent. Thankfully. Terrible person. Willy Wonka is a lot nicer than she is, I think. And in here on the left, we will find the last teddy bear. So if you didn't pop the trophy, or if you haven't played through the game before and you haven't picked up any of the collectibles, this is where the the trophy for picking up all the teddy bears in the candy factory will pop for you. All that remains now of this level is to run up to this mirror and continue onwards into level 3. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.